So we talked a year ago.
We did.
There were lots of announcements back Toy Fair back then, but obviously the business continues to grow. So how does the shape look 1 year on from when we last spoke?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. This has been an interesting journey. I look at the business from October of 18 to when we saw each other, which was, I guess, February 19, right? And now we're February 20. It's a completely different business. And I think I started saying at the time, we came up with an item. And the item, we didn't know what we had. So in 2018, it was an item. In early 2019, as we spoke, it started to become a line and a category. And now this is our business. So we've migrated away from a lot of the other things that we did. And Arcade 1-Up is the dominant brand within the electronics/toy space that we're in.
Yeah.
It's a significant size business for us.
And so one of the things you're adding is pinball.
Yes, we
I'm
are
excited about.
Yeah, well, I got to tell you, we did pinball because you told us to. You said it was a great item.
Yeah.
Pinball is something that we love. I think you did say to me, right? You should be doing pinball. And we kind of both smiled at each other a little bit. It's interesting, yeah. So we're doing digital pinball, which is a huge immersive kind of experience that you can get into, and it's a growing category. And just like this, we saw a big piece of white space where rather we're taking the skill set and the skill play of a $10,000 to $12,000 machine, and we're putting it into a box that can retail for roughly $500-$600 retail.
And so, what's the sort of technology you're putting into those pinballs? So we should say it's a video pinball. You're not recreating physical.
No, so physical pinball machines, probably the largest in the world is Stern Pinball. Great company. They do, mechanical parts. They're big. They're heavy. You need to service them. They're beautiful, right?
They're quite fragile.
They're very fragile, right? But they're beautiful and they're great experiences. So the trick is, how do you get that experience? So there is a company called Zen Studios out of Budapest, and Zen Studios is known. They are like the Pixar of digital pinball. They do so if you go to Google Play or Apple Store or anything else, all the digital pin games, not all, the majority of the digital pinball games that are on there are developed through Zen. So we developed an exclusive partnership with Zen. And through that partnership, we leveraged their ability to make the content, right? Our ability to make the hardware, put it together, manufacture it, distribute it. And this year we'll be coming out with a Star Wars digital pinball machine, a Williams-Bally digital pinball machine, and another pinball machine that we'll be announcing in 90 days. And all of those will be available at retail for fourth quarter this year.
And you got a price for those?
Yeah, this will be $500. And so what we're doing is scaling and taking all that playability, putting it down to a home-size version and delivering it at retail. So we have what's called haptic feedback. So haptic feedback means that you feel the knockers. So when that ball kind of moves around, you actually feel it.
Nice.
And it's an amazing experience that's it is hard to explain unless you're playing it. When you're playing the game, within inside of 10 seconds, your eye and your brain is tricked to feel like you're watching a ball move. You're seeing it bounce off, and all of a sudden, what I found myself doing very fast, and you will once you try it as well, you'll start moving your hips the way we used to playing pinball. It's pretty cool.
For that, will it be more than one game on those machines? So
Yes, I'm sorry.
You pack in a few, don't you, usually?
So, in fact, in that Star Wars, we're doing the whole initial first series. So we'll have 10 different Star Wars games. So, a lot of our arcade machines right now have 4 to 5 games. This will have 10 different Star Wars games that are in there. Williams-Bally will have 10 to 12 games that are in there. And the third machine will have about 10 games as well.
When you get Adam's family in the Williams machine?
So the Addams family will not be in the Williams machine, but we love the Addams family.
Yeah. And that's a particularly tricky title, isn't it, for licensing? Because you have so many different licensing elements in there. You have the voice actors, you have the branding. So getting these licenses on your machine, I guess it's not just that Zen have got it and can copy it over. There's work for you to do as well.
That is correct. And very much like what we did with the arcade machines, there were some very complex licensing deals. Probably NBA Jam is the best example of that. It took about 4 different parties to come together, leagues, rights, voice, all that stuff. And we've, over this last year, you talk about what's the difference of the company. The company is we've been able to actually build up teams. So we have a whole team that's now dedicated to all the PD in conjunction with licensing, which is much different. Product development, I'm sorry. Okay. And typically, product development's running a course like this and licensing's running a course like this. But because of the fact that you have these multi collaborative ownerships that get intertwined like this, it's very important for those two areas to work together. And we do that. We brought in some great talent to do it. A gentleman that runs that division for us used to be at Sega. He was at Sony. He ran Capcom branding out for about 10 years. And we got a good team. We have a great team.
Cool. And then so back in the sort of arcade machine space.
Yes.
You announced some new machines at CES. Can you
Yes.
talk a bit about those?
Yeah, so we announced 3 machines. We announced Frogger, which is such a simple, amazing game, right? It's amazing to me that that's a great kind of game that just has stood the testament of time. But it's hard and it's addicting, right? So we announced that. We also announced in celebration of Pac-Man, we have a Pac-Man 40th machine for Namco, and you'll walk over, you'll see it. It's got 7 different games on it. It's done with beautiful artwork on the side, reminiscent of the original that came out. It's got a light-up marquee, which is different, a matching riser, which is different, and then we have one of my favorites now, which is NBA Jam. And NBA Jam, what's so special about that is our first Wi-Fi enabled machine, which means that if you have a machine in your home and I have one in my home, and these two gentlemen standing next to us, each one have one of the machines in their home, we can all log in and actually be playing each other head to head.
Oh, nice.
Simultaneously, no lag time or anything. And before anybody even thinks about it, we don't charge any subscription fees. We don't charge any fees to play online. Nothing. It's all free, included in the price. And that's an exciting one for us.
Yeah. And you've got a Golden Axe machine, I saw.
Yeah, we're doing Golden Axe will get released third quarter. That's our first machine in conjunction with Sega and their team, and it's interesting. Going back to what I think I said to you before, I was never a hardcore gamer. I was a Pac-Man guy, Galaga guy, Frogger guy, right? What I realized is there's this whole world of gamers that know it. So what we did is we just listened to our fans. If you go on our fan pages, our fans are rabid. I mean, they're amazing. And they say to us, I want this machine. I want that machine. I want this machine with lights. I want this. And truthfully, they're the best product development team I've ever had, the consumers. And so, yes, we're able to launch it. That came out of that.
And then a sit-down Star Wars variant?
Yeah.
That's kind of a new form, isn't it?
It's a totally new form. So, again, you know what? Fan-based. So we had a lot of people. Star Wars was our first machine where we actually changed the controllers completely, and so that was a learning curve for us that I will give credit to the product development team that they pulled off flawlessly.
And just from a business side, to grow at the rate you have you had to bring in extra investment from outside, or are you self-owned? How's that kind of growth been achieved?
Right. So we were able to grow through a variety of mechanisms that were all controlled internally with our team. And as we've kind of gone on to this journey, and it's become, went from a small business to a significant size 9-figure business. We've been having just a variety of different opportunities, and we kind of keep our eyes open for where that navigates, what direction it could take us, and we're always open for changes. So I think you'll see some exciting things coming out in the next 12 months, both as a company, product, a lot of things, a lot of very innovative things.
Great.
Yeah.